Queen Cleopatra carries with her more mystery and intrigue than any other queen the world has known. The world has been captivated by her magical appeal. The family refused to speak Egyptian and spoke Greek instead. Cleopatra, however, did learn the Egyptian language. The goddess Isis, whose name means throne, became her muse and archetype, and she showed herself as the embodiment of this beautiful goddess. Worship of this goddess spread throughout the Greco-Roman world. The goddess accepted all walks of life in her loving embrace and is the patroness of magic and culture. Her father is the god of the earth, Geb, and her mother is goddess of the sky, Nut. In Cleopatra's land, people wrote from right to left, and the life-giving river of the River Nile flowed backward against a backdrop of purple skies, a land filled with legend and wonders, whose language was the oldest in the world. Born in 69 BC and living until 12th August 30 BC, Cleopatra VII descended from a long line of pharaohs, and she ruled the last great kingdom of Egypt. Her reign as Queen of Egypt lasted for over 22 years. In ancient Egyptian, Pharaoh means the greatest household. Cleopatra was a lady who was naturally eloquent and charismatic from an early age, and she was groomed for the throne. She became a queen at the young tender age of 18 and amassed an empire in her time. She was one of the few rulers ever to have spoken in Egyptian tongue, and this greatly served in her favor. Cleopatra's mother was Cleopatra V of Egypt. She had inherited the throne of Egypt with her younger brother, who was just 6 years her junior. She needed the support of Rome in order to rid herself of her brother's rule. Cleopatra's brother does not appear on her coins. Her astuteness and ability to rule in all areas does not come into doubt. She was capable in military affairs and raised an army, controlled a currency, and was richer than all those around her. In her land of Alexandria, with its intense purple sunsets and a land known for excess, she is said to have captured the hearts of two most powerful men in the world, Julius Caesar and his protege, Mark Antony. She was worshipped as a goddess. She allegedly rolled herself up in a carpet and surprised Caesar, and not long afterwards her spouse brother was killed. Cleopatra then had to marry her youngest brother, which she did before sailing around the world with her new lover, Caesar. Cleopatra's country was one who had sustained its autonomy. When powerful leaders came to discuss matters with her, it was claimed that they changed their minds to support her point of view and matter of thinking, and so she became known as a mistress of seduction. Egyptian women in her time had power and liberties that were not seen elsewhere during these times. They could arrange their own marriages and equally inherited property. They were able to serve as priests and owned land and camels and slaves. Cleopatra and her father were incredibly close. They were said to think alike, and it is clear that her father had a great respect for her. Cleopatra herself never denied intensely loving her father. Like her father, when she became queen, she went to the small villages and towns and paid tribute to the gods. Her father, Ptolemy XII, Orlet, and Cleopatra ruled jointly. Later, when her father died, she ruled with her brothers, before commanding sole leadership of Egypt. Ptolemy XII died on March 51 BC. Her and her younger brother of 10 years old initially became joint monarchs. As soon as August 51 BC, it was Cleopatra's face alone on the coins. Months after her father's death, Cleopatra is seen leading an extensive and somewhat flamboyant procession in full ceremonial dress, commanding her royal fleet up the river towards Thebes, inaugurating the bull. She was hailed as the goddess who loves her father. The people of Alexandria were wild, intoxicated with madness, easy to incite into riot, and their lives filled with music, dance, and murder. They were also infinitely resourceful and strong and resilient. Cleopatra ruled them well. Cleopatra had certain challenges on her hands. If she did not stand up to Rome, this would lead to riots among her people. If she did not compromise with Rome, then the Romans would intervene in her ruling. And as for her family, she could be killed, poisoned, or betrayed by them at any time. In order to keep the ruling within the family, it was traditional for interbreeding, and it is possible that Cleopatra's parents were also brothers and sisters. Her mother died when Cleopatra was only 12. Cleopatra was also wed in marriage to her 2 brothers, both younger than herself. She did have 2 siblings older than herself, and they were daughters, Cleopatra's sisters. Cleopatra outlived her siblings by many, many years. Julius Caesar, whose intent before meeting Cleopatra had been to regain a debt to Rome from Egypt, is said to have been immediately converted upon seeing her. He was 52, she was 21. Between 48 BC and 47 BC, during Caesar's stay in Egypt, they became lovers. It is unclear whom seduced whom, however, though what we do know is that soon after spending time with her, he spoke to the people of Alexandria, giving a powerful oratory and promising to do for them whatever they wished. There had been suggestions of conspiracies against Caesar for a long time, yet Cleopatra, in Rome at the time, could not have foreseen this troubled end. Cleopatra was to remain a friend and ally of Rome, and she looked on Rome as it began to destroy itself. Mark Antony was Caesar's protege, and though married, he and Cleopatra began a sexual relationship. Cleopatra still ruled over Egypt with authority. Antony, with the Roman Empire, himself seemed invincible. Cleopatra and Antony had children together, and their names were together placed on coins. It is clear that Antony loved Cleopatra, yet how she herself felt towards him is not clear. It is unknown whether she seduced him for political gain, or if she truly had feelings for him. She declared a new era for Egypt. That autumn she and Antony married, even though he was already wed. Antony and Cleopatra became obligatory allies. When Antony's armies began to lose to Octavian, it is said that he claimed Cleopatra betrayed him. He then heard Cleopatra was dead, and upon hearing this stabbed himself to death. Cleopatra herself killed herself by inciting an Egyptian cobra to kill her. Caesarion, Cleopatra's son by Caesar, then became Pharaoh of Egypt. He was captured and killed when Alexandria fell to Octavian.